My name is James Underhill, and I'm here from the Rouen Ethno-Linguistics Project in France, and we're here in Australia, at Australian National University, with Anna Yorzbicka. Anna, a lot of people are willing to accept that English and different languages have different concepts that we have to learn, but they tend to think of emotions, about the emotions of people as the humankind, as universal. If emotion is not universal, what is then? Where do you situate yourself in those debates?
Well, I think that to some extent that there is something universal about how people feel. The word emotion itself is an English word, which doesn't correspond even to the German word émotion or to French émotion. So really, when you start with emotion, you are already in the Anglo territory. But I would prefer to start with feel. People have good feelings and bad feelings in all languages, because we have lexical evidence for this. You can feel something good, you can feel something bad, you can feel something very good, or you can feel something very bad. That's universal.
Are you thinking more in terms of the verb or the noun? Feel, feeling?
No, well, it's usually verb.
Okay.
You feel something, yeah. However, in different languages, of course, people think about how they feel in many different ways, and they associate different ways of feeling with certain thought patterns, with certain patterns of thinking. And these patterns of thinking are different in different languages and different cultures. And then you get complex words, complex concepts based on feel, plus a particular pattern of thinking. And this is language specific. So for example, frustration. A lot has been written about it. English speakers often say that they feel frustrated, but lots of languages around the world don't have a word like frustration, and the English word frustration and frustrated is actually traveling the world, being borrowed into lots of languages. So frustration now is common apparently in German, because the concept is coming from English, because the pattern of thinking associated with the bad feeling is culture specific. So you don't get it in other languages. And every language has its own complex concepts which refer to one particular kind of feeling, feeling I mean in a verbal sense, associated with a pattern of thinking which is characteristic or important for speakers of that language. So if you want an example from Polish, well, for example, zdenerwowanie, denerwować. That's a very important word for me. I often feel that I'm denerwuję się, nie denerwuj się.
Would you translate as annoyed, irritated?
Well, it doesn't match any of those.
Okay, so where
it just doesn't. But I can give you an explication in terms of semantic components. So you have a number of English words which would overlap with denerwowanie. But essentially you think something like, I've written about it, so I can't remember the exact explication, but something bad is happening now. I don't want it to be happening, and I feel something bad because of this, and I think I should do something because of this, but I don't know what I can do.
Okay.
So you are in a state of agitation, stress, or something, but there isn't a single word in English which would match this. I think there are good cultural reasons why frustration is so important for speakers of English, and zdenerwowanie is important for in Polish culture, but I won't go into that. But in any case, they don't match.
Would you say zdenerwowanie matches more, I'm thinking in terms of Czech, but would it match more with énervé in French, do you think? I have a German friend who often says, I'm innervated, as though this is an English word, but I think most English people find this a very literary and strange word that might be rendered by
they don't
annoyed.
match. No, I don't think they match, but if you do an explication of each of those words, you will see that they share various components, but there are some components which are different, and you can show precisely what the difference is. And I think this difference in the thinking pattern is probably associated with a different way of feeling, because the feeling is defined in relation to that complex of thoughts that you have. So to that extent, emotions can be culture specific.
Okay, that's interesting. In Imprisoned in English,